Have you ever planted a seed? You put it in the soil, give it some water, and then you wait, and wait, and wait some more. It might be a few days, a few weeks, or even months before you see a tiny sprout push its way through the dirt. For some plants, like big trees, it can take years. This simple act of planting a seed completely changed the course of human history. It sparked a revolution that led us right here to the world we live in today. 2. It's a story about patience, innovation, and a whole new way of life. Before this big change, people were constantly on the move. We call them hunter-gatherers. Their lives were a cycle of following animal herds and searching for ripe fruits, nuts, and roots. They would stay in one place for a little while, gather what they could, and then pack up and move on when resources became scarce. Their survival depended on their deep knowledge of the land and their ability to adapt to the changing seasons. It was a life of freedom, but also a life of constant uncertainty. They never knew for sure where their next meal would come from. Then something incredible happened. Someone, somewhere, had a brilliant idea. Maybe they noticed that seeds dropped near their camp sprouted into new plants. Oh, or perhaps they experimented, deliberately putting seeds in the ground to see what would happen. We'll never know the exact moment, but this discovery was the beginning of agriculture. People started to understand that they didn't just have to find food, they could grow it. This was a game changer. It was the dawn of a new era for humanity. Think about what it takes to grow a plant. It's not just about putting a seed in the ground and hoping for the best. Once that seed is planted, you're committed. You have to stick around. You need to water the plants, especially if there isn't enough rain. You have to pull out the weeds that compete for sunlight and nutrients. You need to build fences or stand guard to protect your precious crops from hungry animals and birds that see your garden as an alu-cannet buffet. This process, from planting to harvesting when the grain finally ripens, takes a long, long time. Dave. This commitment meant that people could no longer be nomadic. They had to settle down in one place. For the first time in history, humans began to build permanent homes and create villages. Their lives became rooted to the land they cultivated. This shift from a mobile lifestyle to a settled one is one of the most significant transformations in our history. The daily rhythm of life changed completely. Instead of following the herds, people started following the seasons of planting and harvesting. Their world, which was once vast and ever-changing, became focused on a single plot of land. Once the harvest was in, another challenge appeared. What do you do with all that grain? You can't eat it all at once. Some of it needed to be saved for the winter, when nothing grows. And, just as importantly, some of it had to be kept as seed for the next year's crop. If you ate all your seeds, you'd have nothing to plant, and your new way of life would come to a grinding halt. So, storing the harvest became a top priority. Keeping grain safe and dry was essential for survival. This need for storage sparked a wave of human ingenuity. People had to get creative. They started thinking of ways to protect their valuable food supply from moisture, pests like rats and insects, and, of course, from being eaten by other animals. What would you do? Well, our ancestors came up with some amazing solutions. In many areas, they began using clay from the earth to make large, sturdy pots. They would shape the clay and then bake it in a fire to make it hard and waterproof. These were some of the world's first containers, perfect for keeping grain dry. In other places, where different materials were available, people wove baskets from reeds or grasses. They would weave them so tightly that they could hold even the smallest grains. These baskets were lightweight and versatile. And in some communities, people simply dug pits into the ground. They might line them with clay or stones to keep the contents dry and safe. Imagine digging a secret underground pantry to keep your food supply secure through the cold months. Each of these solutions, spots, baskets, and pits, was a brilliant technological innovation for its time. Now, This brings up a really interesting question. Do you think the hunter-gatherers, the people who came before the farmers, would have made and used pots? Let's think about it. The life of a hunter-gatherer was all about mobility. They carried everything they owned on their backs. They needed their tools to be lightweight, durable, and easy to transport. A big, heavy clay pot doesn't really fit that description, does it? It's fragile. The need to settle down and grow food created a new problem: how to store the harvest. And the solution to that problem was the creation of pots, baskets, and storage pits. This new technology, in turn, made the agricultural lifestyle even more secure and successful. It allowed communities to build up a stable food supply, which meant they could support larger populations. Villages grew into towns, and eventually, towns grew into the first cities. This entire chain reaction started with a single seed. The transition from hunting and gathering to farming was just a change in how people got their food. It was a complete reshaping of society. Led to permanent settlements, new technologies, the concept of property, and eventually, the complex civilizations we know today. It set us on a path of innovation and development that continues to this day. Every time you eat a piece of bread or a bowl of rice, you've reconnected to those first farmers who decided to stay in one place and look after a tiny plant. It's a powerful reminder of how a small change can grow into something that transforms the entire world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. It's amazing to think about how these early decisions shaped our modern lives. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more stories from our past, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think was the biggest challenge for the first farmers? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.